Alright, so I've never really made one of these types of videos before, but I just thought I'd go ahead and give you guys my thoughts on LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, really just coming from a lifelong LEGO Star Wars fan, and just going to really give you kind of what I thought about the game, now that it's been pretty much 1 year. So this isn't going to be a review video, so if you guys came here expecting a review type video, this isn't really what this is going to be. This is just kind of seeing how it met up to my expectations. That, and I know I really haven't talked about this game that much on the channel, so I just figured I'd just go ahead and make a video about it and share with you guys my thoughts about what I think about this game. And if I sound tired, well, yes I am, so we're going to try to make it through this video. In terms of how good I think the game is, I think the game's actually pretty good. I'm not going to say it's great because I think there's a lot of stuff they still need to work on, but in terms of recreating the feel of the Star Wars universe, which is pretty much what it's supposed to do, I think it did really good on that. But I still would pick up the complete saga before I would that. I don't know if it's because of the nostalgia value that the old one holds that this one doesn't. I don't know what it is, but I still like the complete saga more than I do this one. Not saying this is a bad game, because I still think it's a really good game, but I just feel like it's lacking in some areas, which is a little annoying because they promised this really cool game that was going to be and it probably still will be, the last LEGO Star Wars game, but it is kind of annoying that they promised us a lot, and I mean pretty much delivered, but still is lacking in quite a few areas. I do remember whenever I was first playing through the game and I played through episode 1 and 2 and I was thinking, wow, this is really cool, and I got to episode 3 and it was like there was nothing there, and I was like, wait, what? And I thought, well, maybe it's just episode 3 lacking, because it did kind of lack in the complete saga. So I went on to episode 4 and I thought, oh, it kind of feels the same way, and I got that vibe pretty much throughout the rest of the game, and it kind of felt like it was rushed there at the end, which is not good whenever you're supposed to be selling a AAA title like LEGO Star Wars. But if you really think about it, why even really be that shocked whenever pretty much every other AAA title that promises to be something amazing turns out to be a pile of shit whenever they release it? At least it wasn't a pile of shit whenever they released this, like other huge games that are supposed to be released. Turns out they're barely even beta builds of the game, which is amazing because they make you spend like $60-70 for these games whenever they're not even done and they're not even really what they promised to be. But that's a rant for a completely different video, so we're just going to stick to this game and then bitch about those other games later. Alright, so some things that I do like about this game include like the open world style maps, which I think are amazing. I love how they did that. There's a great character roster. They even added some of the older characters, which I thought was pretty cool. I wish they would add the entire roster, but I don't think they'll ever do that. But other than that, I just think the game feels really cool and expansive, and there's a lot of areas to explore, which I feel like the older game was lacking because back then just simply wasn't a thing to do. I don't think hardware could have handled what this game has to offer back then, even scaled down. I do like that they pretty much recreated the lightsaber combat, which I thought was horrible in the complete saga and all the other LEGO games. It kind of was just like you do the jump attack or you do the ground slam, and that's the only way you could do the lightsaber attacks back then. Nowadays, I mean, it's still really button mashy and all that, but it's way better than what it was. At least it makes more sense now than what it did way back then. Another thing I'm glad they pretty much redid was the space combat. I feel in the complete saga the space combat was just lacking and it just really wasn't fun to play. Now it's more enjoyable, it makes more sense, and it's more of how you would expect space combat to really work. So I'm glad they fixed the mechanics of that and made it more enjoyable. And now it makes more sense, so it is enjoyable to play. I will say, I do love playing the space missions in this game. They just feel way more enjoyable to play. Another thing that I did love is that they added the mumble mode extra. I'm glad they kind of took time to make that and gave you a choice between the dialogue and the mumbling like what you used to hear. I found that I haven't really used the mumble mode at all. Actually, I've never used it before, so I need to try it, but I'm surprised I haven't because I said I would never use it, but I did find that it kind of is hard to play the game without the dialogue, so I decided maybe I'll just leave the dialogue on. So yeah, it's there, so if you want to play it with the mumbling like it used to be, it's there, which I mean I probably should do it. But in terms of things I don't like about this game, obviously the episodes not feeling complete there towards the end, that's super annoying. There's a lot of bugs in this game that some of them have been fixed, some of them have just gotten worse, some of them they haven't even touched. That's kind of annoying. Some of them are game breaking bugs too, which is really bad, but but I've actually experienced one or two, but I didn't have them on recording, so you guys probably won't get to see those, but they are all over YouTube, so you can find them there. Another thing I hate, I've found like a month after I bought the game, I pre-ordered it, like a month after I got the game and everybody got it, there was like a 40 gig update, and I was wondering like, oh, what did they update? Did they add stuff? No, they didn't. Actually, I don't think anybody got an explanation on what they did. Well, I've had like 3 or 4 more of those updates like that, and it's like nobody's getting a response on what they're doing, and it doesn't seem like they're really doing anything, which is that's also annoying, because you got to sit there and wait like an hour or 2 if you want to play the game, or it's going to be downloading something else while you're also trying to download something or play something on whatever you do. It's annoying, and it takes up bandwidth, and you're not even really getting anything. Another thing that I kind of find annoying, which really isn't probably something you should be annoyed about, but I found that pretty much all of the DLC characters really don't have dialogue at all, so that's super annoying to me anyway, that they don't interact like the other characters do and stuff like that. And you would think that if you pay for DLC characters, they would be fully made and they would have dialogue and everything, they just wouldn't be a character you could play, which I mean, they modeled them really good, but it kind of feels like they kind of robbed you a little bit, because you're not getting the full experience like what you would expect that character to be. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this game. I think it's fine. I know my opinion doesn't really matter much, but I just thought I'd go ahead and make a video about it, since I haven't really made a video about this game really at all, so figured you guys would want to hear what I thought about it. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you want more content like it, please subscribe. Nostalgic 9080.